My name is Henry, and I work at a local manufacturing company in the heart of the city. The job is demanding, but I love it. It provides for my family, who live downtown not far from my workplace. Since I often work late into the night, I drive home through a lonely, desolate route, passing an old abandoned building that always sent shivers down my spine. One chilly autumn evening, as I was making my usual way back home, I heard a high-pitched scream piercing through the night's silence. The sound seemed to come from the eerie old building. I instinctively hit the brakes and turned my head towards the source of the scream. My heart was racing as I strained to listen for any further sound. There it was again, the scream, louder this time, and filled with anguish. I knew I couldn't ignore it. Fumbling for my phone, I called the police, trying to explain the situation as clearly as I could. The operator reassured me that they would send a patrol car immediately to investigate. While waiting for the police to arrive, I stayed in my car, the anxiety building up with every passing second. The abandoned building loomed in the darkness, its broken windows staring at me like haunting eyes. When the police finally arrived, they cautiously entered the building, shining their flashlights into the pitch-black darkness. I anxiously waited in my car, hoping they would find whoever was in distress. After what felt like an eternity, the officers returned, their faces puzzled and expressions grim. They had found nothing, no signs of anyone inside, and no evidence of recent activity. The building seemed to hold only the echoes of its forgotten past. The next night arrived, and despite my sense of dread, I made the reluctant decision to take the same route back home. As expected, the eerie feeling engulfed me again, and I struggled to shake off the vivid memory of that haunting scream. Just when I thought I could ignore it, the same blood-curdling sound pierced through the night once more. It felt as if the scream was trying to pierce my ears, calling me towards the abandoned building, inviting me inside its ominous walls. I knew deep down that this wasn't my imagination playing tricks on me. It was something real, something unexplainable. Reluctant to call the police again, fearing they might dismiss me as a prankster or someone going crazy, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I couldn't let this fear control me. With my heart pounding, I quickly sped away from the vicinity of that haunting building, not daring to look back. The following day, my mind was consumed by the events of the last 2 nights. I couldn't stop thinking about what had happened and what it could possibly mean. Fear gripped my heart, and I knew I couldn't bear to go through that terrifying experience again. Resolutely, I made a firm decision to avoid that route altogether during the night, opting for a longer but safer path back home. As weeks passed, the intensity of the memory gradually began to fade. I tried to convince myself that it must have been a one-time occurrence or simply a product of my imagination running wild. However, even in the daylight, passing by the abandoned building, I couldn't shake off the unexplainable feeling of unease that lingered within me. I couldn't help but wonder about the origins of that chilling scream. It felt as though it might have been an echo from the past, a lingering trace of the tragedy that had unfolded within those walls many years ago. The abandoned building seemed to hold its secrets close, refusing to reveal the truth behind its eerie presence. Despite my curiosity, I knew better than to venture into the building alone. The fear of the unknown and the lingering sense of foreboding prevailed, keeping me at a distance. Instead, I focused on my family, finding comfort in their presence and the love we shared. To this day, I can't fully explain what happened during those 2 dreadful nights. Perhaps some mysteries are not meant to be solved, and some echoes of the past are meant to remain shrouded in darkness. What I do know is that the experience changed me, reminding me that there are forces beyond our understanding, and that sometimes it's better to let go of certain enigmas and cherish the present moment with those we hold dear.